Hello, this is Hervé from Comic Book Bin, fill you in since 2002. This is Zatanna and Detective Chimp. They're the latest DC Multiverse from McFarlane Toys. These are very in demand. Zatanna is a favorite character of many DC Comics fans, and I'm very glad to see her here. The only other Zatanna action figure that I've had in the past was the old DC Direct Zatanna that was pre-paused, so she didn't have any articulation in her legs and so on. But she had kind of a suit that was almost similar and real fishnet in this case. This Zatanna doesn't have real fishnet, and that's okay. But she has other things. She has full articulation, and she came with Detective Chimp. I've never had a Detective Chimp action figure before. He's got very limited action figure articulations, but that's okay. It's still a great figure nevertheless. Now, let's look at Zatanna in more details, because it is a nice figure, and there's a lot that you can do. You could even customize her to become other characters. The first thing I want to review here is Detective Chimp. I don't believe I've had a Detective Chimp action figure before. No, I've never had one, and I don't know if they've made him before. Regardless, I think this one is fine. It has limited articulation, just 3 of them. Just the head, that can't even tilt very much or go up and down. So it's just a rotation, that's it. And same thing with the arms, not even ball joint here. It just goes up and down. You can put stuff in his hands, but as other people have remarked, maybe they should have given him a spyglass. It would have looked perfect. He has one in comics. If you can find one, I don't know if I have an extra spyglass somewhere. This is underneath for his feet. So it's all one piece, one big plastic piece. Oh, you can also twist his waist. So that gives him 4 articulations in all. Very tiny, lower number of articulation, but that's okay. And here we've got Zatanna. She's the main event of this offering, a classic Justice League member. She comes with a one hand and 2 other hands if she's doing magic spell. I have a Zatanna somewhere, but I don't want to pull him out because he's a bit too far off, so I don't want to remove him from the display. But well, it's not a Zatanna, it's a Mandrake action figure, but Zatanna's father, is a virtual clone of Mandrake. So if you have that Mandrake action figure, it will look good with Zatanna because you can make him be a Zatanna. Here, I'm looking for an animal. I've got the small monkey from Indiana Jones, but I can't find it right now. I have a tiny monkey that would probably fit in this hat, but I don't have it in my hands right now, fortunately. But you could potentially put stuff in her top hat that would make the action figure look even more fun. So I'm gonna give her a fuse instead. It's not what I would put, but ouch. Potentially, she can pull anything from her hat like that. The other thing with Zatanna that I find odd is that they gave her a hairpiece that you can actually remove. Okay, she has no ears, by the way, but I've been playing and testing, and there is things that you can do with this hairpiece. This belongs to CoverGirl, the G.I. Joe classified CoverGirl. Okay, this is the extra head and so on. This is CoverGirl. You see the size of the head is almost the same as Zatanna's, and I did try it, and it was fun, and it really changes her look when you give her a blonde wig instead, and it fits in perfectly. If we never get a Black Canary, and I know there's a Black Canary coming from DC Multiverse, you could buy an extra Zatanna and customize her into a Black Canary somehow. See how she looks? Now the hairpiece was not meant to stay with this. This is a square inside, this is a circle. But just like that, your Zatanna looks like a different character. I think she looks good like that, the different hairpiece. So you have Black Canary as Zatanna. It makes you feel how Black Canary could look with a buck almost similar to this. She would look very nice. But all good things in life. And so let's put her back with her regular hair. Now the chase figure of this Zatanna has a different smirk on her face. I think this is the most beautiful one. And the other suit is not exactly what I like. I think it was based more on Batman Adventure or Batman the Animated from the late 90s, early 2000s. That's what we've got here. Not with this figure, but the other chase. And I think this one is a better face of the 2 of them. Obviously, you can put the top hat on her hand, but I like the fact that you can also put the hat here and she pulls something out of it. That's fun too. So this is Zatanna with the top hat. She doesn't really wear one all that often in the comics. I don't believe she wears one often. The fishnet are printed on. If I'm not mistaken, I don't have one of those, but apparently she's the Raven from the Teen Titan buck. This is the entire Raven buck that's been reused, at least for the legs here. So there's no real cut here. It's all painted on like this. I know that fishnet design like that costs a lot of money, and this piece is original. So a lot of the pieces, well, the arms are the same ones as Raven, but there was a lot of customization done. A lot of money was spent on this figure. That's not a bad thing. I think compared to other figure from DC Multiverse where they really cut corners, this is one figure where I think the expense was worth it. Now, you know that DC Multiverse, they all come with an action figure stand. This is not the one that came with Zatanna. It's probably just with another figure, but she's gonna have difficulty standing up, so you may have to put her on a stand once in a while, unfortunately. But she doesn't look all that good on that stand because it kind of warps the way she looks unless you bend the knees. I don't like putting all the weight on just one leg like that. So I'll find a way to make her stand without the action figure stand. At least she has one. So this is Zatanna for you. I like the figure a lot. Well, the articulation, by the way, these are the articulation. I find that the forearms are tiny, tiny, tiny. She's very skinny. And let's try to put some different hands on her like this. If they ever make a Mera, maybe they'll use this again. I don't think that we'll see a Mera from DC Multiverse. It's too late now. It's too close. This. You know that Zatanna says her spells backwards. I'm not even going to try that. But she doesn't really have energy effects when she applies those, she mentions those spells of hers. And Detective Chimp is her friend in the old Justice League Dark team. Some people may want to pair this figure with the Constantine. Problem is, some people think that they've dated just briefly and they smoke pot in an old Constantine comic in the 90s. Yes, they smoke pot. I've got that comic somewhere. But besides that, they were never close before they were made closer when Constantine was brought back full force into the DC universe. They were barely interacting back then. So this is Zatanna. By the way, in the comics in the 70s, I believe, Barry Allen had a crush on Zatanna. That was one of those stupid plot lines that never took off, but that was a thing back then. And so it's a beautiful figure. The hair moves. The head still can move, but the hair gets in the way. She can twist and turn around, lift, and so on. I think it's a good addition to my collection. I really like this Zatanna. It's probably one of the best Zatanna action figure that they've made. The one from DC Direct was more beautiful in terms of sculpt, but she couldn't move at all. This one actually is articulated. So this is my review for Zatanna. This is Hervé from Comic Book Bin, affiliate since 2002. Like and subscribe. Don't forget Detective Chimp.